Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Kareem from Alpha BB. So today we're going to be talking about something totally different than the usual talk about business consultancy and the business world in general. Today I want to discuss with you a white paper I have worked on and launched in 2025, earlier this year in May. And this is something so dear to me. It's something that I've been working on for the past at least 5 years, but culminated in this white paper where we discussed time as a double helix model. And this was, of course, I had a lot of uh, previous scientists' work that I had to study and correlate and work upon and develop, because as human beings, we work with a totality of consciousness, and that means that any scientist or anybody in any field has to always thank the people that came before him. So I really want to thank Sir Penrose. I really want to thank Mr. Feynman, Dr. Feynman, and I really want to thank also all the different scientists that I say Penrose and Feynman because they influenced me so much, but I really want to thank everybody else that I mentioned in the references and for making their research available. I think that's something that we don't really appreciate and we don't really mention that much. So yeah, let me get straight into it. What is the double helix model of space-time? Well, this is a theoretical framework, so we do have some mathematical formulation in twistor algebra and certain other quantum mechanics principles that we apply in this that I applied in this research. But at the same time, it is a geometric framework to work with and a visual way for us to really understand how does space-time work and time itself as a concept. So in a gist, the review synthesizes some evidence that we have from quantum mechanics, like entanglement, for example. Also, some temporal phenomenon that we find within particles being entangled and affecting one another in a past, present, and future state, which goes really against the concept of classical modern physics, and that when we delve into the quantum world, things start to get a little bit weird, and we really don't have an explanation for that. So this model presents or is a framework for us to start and walk towards having a universal physics, the theory of everything, right? This is not the theory of everything, but it definitely bridges the gap or tries to shine a light on some gaps that modern physics, classical physics, and quantum physics don't abide. It also shines a light on certain aspects of relativity and how Einsteinian relativity is really it drove a lot of innovation. Of course, it drove a lot of thought and proved a lot of spatial or orbital movements and some other calculation to determine especially energy. But we are also finding that energy is not conserved that much, and that we still have a lot to do in that area, in that field. But I'm not talking about energy that much, although throughout the paper, I do discuss energy and energy conservation principles and even some thermodynamic principles. The gist about this paper is if we look at time as in forward flow, as in a highway, let's say it's not very accurate. It's not a very accurate depiction of time. I mean, we go through entropy and the universe goes through entropy. It means that we deteriorate, and then we have cosmic movements that determine the passage of time. So that's why we view time as a circular kind of event, because the orbital objects and bodies move in a circular fashion. If we take a look at even black holes, how they usually move in a circular fashion. So that movement produces the illusion of time. But let's say you are trapped inside a cave and you don't have a watch and you don't have this difference in between day and night cycles, then your concept of time starts to evaporate slowly as you move forward in time or as time passes by. So if we take a look at, let's say, current ocean current movements, we're going to see that they don't move in a straight line. They also don't move forward and back. So when we think about time per se as a concept, we need to think about movement and kinetic energy and energy displacement rather than think about it in a constant flow of time. Also, this paper examines well, it's not a suppressant for certain theories. It definitely just shines a light on some contradictory points we have between quantum mechanics, quantum physics, and classical Newtonian physics, right? We also analyze some philosophical implications and the potential experimentation verification process that we go through. We also go through temporal geometry, quantum retrocausality, which I was mentioning earlier, like how do present states can affect past states, or past states can affect, I mean, past states affecting future states, that's I mean, consequential, right? But how about affecting past states? That's a very surreal, I think, effect that we see in certain phenomenon, certain quantum phenomenon, right? So I will talk about it a little bit more. This is an introduction. I know it's a mind bender, but there's also a figure, and this figure that you see that I will show you right now, this figure basically here, which I try to illustrate the best I can, how string theory correlates with I call it the space fabric. And space fabric affects gravity. So right now we know that there's a correlation between the movement of bodies, the electromagnetic fields that they generate, and the actual orbit of planets and bodies and space bodies and celestial bodies, I'm sorry. But at the same time, there is an expansion. The universe is expanding. So, and we proved that. But this expansion per se is not chaotic. There is an entangled state. So the universe is in constant entangled state. As movement happens, we get the illusion of time. But when we talk about the Bosonian condensate and at absolute zero temperatures, which is physically for us to do, but at absolute zero temperatures, we realize that if we can get the particles to stand still, everything else stands still. If we can get the frequencies of these particles to stand still, then we have we can almost stop time. So definitely delve into this topic more. You have the paper here on our website. I also put some experimental models we followed and some theoretical foundations, some inherent limitation of my research as well. I didn't have a team to help me out with this, but I definitely had the support of all the scientists and all the knowledge that came through and all the references that I based my work on. So for that, I'm really grateful for everybody. I'm going to leave this white paper just open. This is one of the things that we don't, like me as a person, I really don't like have any claim on it. I think this is more of a universal type of work that people can work upon and improve, and something that I would love for it to be discussed and criticized for sure. I know there's got to be a lot of classical physics, theoretical and practical physics criticizing this, but that's good. That's good. I really like that. I really like the fact that we can come together and we can talk about these ideas that help us understand our universe, our world, ourselves, and help us just drive innovation and just the growth of human beings. Another point is that I didn't mention here is that this ties to the geometrical formation of space-time. So here in the middle, we have, this is the pocket universe theory. a string theory, but also the double helix format of time and the expansion of the universe. So here you can see it from above, here you can see it from the side, and here basically if we take it and we elongate it, you can see from within what's going on and what's happening and all the forces that are and all the motion that is happening. So yeah, I'll leave you with this video. I hope it didn't pass 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining and for bending your mind a little bit. And I hope this can one day serve as a stepping stone towards something much bigger. We're definitely trying to do our part, whether in business, humanitarian work, or scientific research. I really, really believe that as humans, we need to think as one, act as one, and have the best of our mutual benefit on our minds always. And that's the code I follow. So this is open. I'm going to leave it on the website. If you think that you want to take that, you want to criticize it, you want to use it for something else, build upon it. It's definitely a pleasure, and it's a white paper open on our website. You can definitely use it for your research or the theoretical work, the mathematical work that's there. Definitely built on the work that other greats have come before me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for your time. And I hope you have a blessed day. And until the next one, take care.